While working late one night, the man playfully slapped his secretary on the butt. He didn't expect it to cause serious trouble. Unfortunately, his boss witnessed the whole thing nearby, and fired him on the spot. As he packed up his belongings to leave, he realized he forgot his phone. With no other choice, he headed back upstairs to get it, but just as he reached the office, he stumbled upon something terrifying. In that moment of shock, he hid in a corner, shaking with fear. Luckily, the killer hadn't noticed him. While the killer was busy with the body, the man made a dash back to his desk, hoping to grab his phone and call the police. But just as he opened the door, he found a co-worker and urgently warned him about the killer. They quickly decided to escape first, and then call the cops. But the elevator had already been shut off by the killer. When they reached the emergency stairs, they found the door had been locked too. With every exit blocked, they split up. The co-worker went to find a phone, while the man rushed to the boss's office. He suddenly remembered the boss might still be inside, but when he got there, the room was completely empty. Meanwhile, the co-worker had just dialed 911, when the killer appeared right behind him. Panicked, he had no choice but to hang up. As expected, the killer raised a gun to the back of his head.
Is anybody else working late tonight?
No, it's just me.
Then, strangely, the killer gently patted his head, and simply walked away. The co-worker thought he was lucky to be spared, until the killer returned, this time holding a wire. Not long after, the man planned to meet up with his co-worker, and figure out what to do next. But as he approached the office door, he saw a shadow on the glass. It matched the killer's silhouette. Frightened, he rushed into the nearest bathroom, but the next second, it was clear. Even the security guards had been killed. As he leaned in for a closer look, he accidentally triggered the toilet flush. Afraid the killer might hear it, he quickly hid inside a stall, and closed the door. Just to be safe, he climbed onto the corpse, but before he could even relax, the killer walked into the bathroom. Hearing the footsteps, the man panicked. Fortunately, the killer was only there to wash the blood off his hands. The man let out a quiet sigh of relief, until the killer suddenly spoke.
How you doing there, Barney? You wanna toss me your keys?
He mentioned the keys on the dead guard, which meant he'd be coming back soon. With no time to waste, the man made a desperate decision. He acted on pure instinct, but just as he settled into the next stall, he accidentally triggered the motion sensor. He knew it was only a matter of time before he was found. Thinking fast, he flushed the toilet again, just as the killer stood up. After the killer left the bathroom, the man realized it was now or never. He sneaked back into the office, grabbed his phone, and called the cops. But after nearly 2 hours had passed, there was still no response. At this point, he couldn't afford to miss his one chance to escape, so he plugged in the phone to charge. As he turned around, he saw his co-worker's lifeless body nearby. Before he had time to react, the killer returned once again, barely escaping for a second time. He waited until the killer moved the body, then quickly slipped away, and hid in a storage closet. But just as he peeked out, the killer was staring right at him.